Hi, welcome back to Food News and Chews. We've been doing all things Lincoln here today.
That's right.
You know, he's the rage.
Yeah, for President's Day.
Hey, you know what? He doesn't look like he ate much.
No, he doesn't.
He's kind of a string bean kind of guy.
Right.
But there was one thing that apparently he really liked.
If you check out White House records, apparently he liked chicken fricassee. So, you know, I haven't made this since culinary school, so you got to help me along, Sylvia. I'm going to do my best shot at a good Lincoln dish here.
Hey, it sounds like you can't fail.
That's right, that's right. So
all the ingredients.
I'm going to do like a chicken fricassee,
yeah.
which is a nice kind of creamy, succulent chicken. Anybody's going to like this dish.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put it with corn cakes. I think that's kind of, you know, he's from Kentucky. It's a nice southern thing.
Cornbread?
Cornbread, yeah.
That's the new
thing. Yeah, possibly. That's an inside joke, right?
Yeah, really.
So anyway, we're going to start with Lyons Farm all natural chicken.
Oh, Lyons Farm. Oh, yummy. That means it's really good stuff.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So we want to go into flour, and I use a nice seasoned flour, just something with salt and pepper in it. Get them nice and dredged for a good saute.
So you don't do that, don't dredge them in any kind of liquid before you do that part, right?
No, just a nice little flour coating. And this is, like I said, seasoned flour, so it's got some salt and pepper already in it. But I keep the salt and pepper light on this dish because we're going to finish it at the end with plenty of good seasoning.
Now, this differs from fried chicken. You're not frying
you would batter that, then go into oil. Gotcha. Now, we are going to take this and go ahead and start sauteing it in the skillet and get it nice and brown on both sides, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
So if you can tell, the skillet's on kind of a medium heat. There's a little bit of smoke rising. It's not too hot, but you do want to get a little brown on the chicken. So
yeah, and this is called sauteing.
That's right. You know, sauteing actually literally means to jump around in the pan. So you notice there's a little activity and you kind of saute, so it means jumping around in the pan. So we let this brown on both sides, then we're going to take it out and start the whole fricassee process, which uses a lot of good onions and vegetables, and we cook those down.
Fricassee stands for?
I don't know.
Sounds frisky.
Some old French thing that we learned in culinary school. That's really delicious, though.
Fricassee.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go fricassee.
While this sautés, we can make our corn cakes.
Let's do it. And we're going to do corn cakes that make the fricassee with the frick and the fricassee.
That's right. Well, it's going to be great because the corn cakes will be a nice base for that succulent, juicy chicken with the nice cream and vegetables over top.
You're killing me.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So,
amazing.
You know, a little bit of flour. Equal parts flour and cornmeal. Now, a lot of people are going to get on to me, especially if you're from the true South, because you only use cornmeal in that. But I like a little lighter cake.
A little lighter cake,
so the flour kind of balances it out.
I'm with you, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now, the rest of the dry ingredients, just a pinch of sugar. I like a little sugar in my cornbread.
I do too, actually.
Little baking powder.
My daddy used to make cornbread. That was his specialty.
Well, it's delicious. Nice little bit of salt. So
good
salt, sugar,
dish.
and there's your dry ingredients. We always mix those first, right, Sylvia?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I've got that on the checklist. Check.
That's right. So we'll add an egg, which we have right here. Crack that to the well. And then we'll just finish with milk. And there's really no right way to do this in terms of measurement. Yeah. Just till it becomes like a nice batter consistency.
Just some whole milk.
Yeah, so a little bit at a time.
Okay.
Just spin that together.
Now what
so you
else
get a little
we
bit
got
loose, almost like a pancake batter, really, because we're going to make cakes.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of sauteing, right? Jumping around the pan.
Jumping around.
We'll flip it over. We got a nice little brown on both sides, or one side, and we'll go to both sides this time. I'm going to move the chicken over a little bit and go ahead and add some vegetables. And we're going to use a little bit of yellow onion.
Yeah.
And, you know, fricassee usually has just like a lot of onions. Yeah. So I'm going to use yellow onion. I'm also going to use some shallot.
Shallots are purple onions?
No, they're actually, they're not really an onion.
Really?
Yeah, they're in the onion family.
They look just like an onion.
Do. Now, see, these are actually purple or red onions. So I'm using 3 types of onions in this.
Did Mary Todd Lincoln cook this for him, you think?
I have no idea.
Actually, she was from the aristocracy.
Well, after I get done, you're cooking this for me, right?
Yeah, right. I don't even rise to the level of kitchen.
So, as this cooks, we can add other vegetables like, you know, nice fresh garlic.
But he was raised in Kentucky, and I guess this was like a real typical dish, like right around Elizabethtown and such, right?
Yeah, you got the movement of like the French methods kind of coming in. This is one of those fancy dishes.
Yeah, it was sort of all blending in at that time. And,
it really is good.
The whole food thing of that century was really interesting because it was kind of coming. It was the melding together of the aristocracy of the South and a lot of, you know, Black culture, African-American culture blended in, and then the Old South. Yeah. Just ordinary folk, too, and what they do.
Well, this is a fabulous dish. So I've added mirepoix, which just means celery and carrots and onions. So those are going. We can kind of put the chicken on top of the vegetables now. so the vegetables can cook a little bit. The chicken's just kind of nice and steamed.
You want to keep those vegetables firm or southern cooking?
I like to cook them way down. So this is gonna, if you want, take the chicken out of the skillet.
You can do it either way, yeah.
And let it sit on the plate, and then you can finish with the chicken later. But you really want to get the chicken cooked just right. So we're gonna let that kind of simmer.
The southern vegetables are always real soft, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And,
so a little bit of chicken stock can go into the skillet.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of let that do its thing for a little while and cook. We have to finish it with something called a liaison, which is cream and egg to finish it, make it nice and really, really creamy and succulent.
Oh, I saw the cream over there. I wondered.
Yeah. But first we got to make a corn cake, and that's your job. All right, Sylvia, we got the skillet kind of getting warm, right?
Yeah.
And we got to use a little bit of melted butter, because that's how you make corn cakes. You want to use butter. I like to use butter. If you want to kind of come back and
I don't like butter at all.
Yeah. If you want to use olive oil, that's fine. I just kind of like to keep it, keep it real.
Let's do it real. Let's do it like they did it, like my daddy did it. Yeah.
That's right. So go ahead and use one scoop and just ladle in there like a pancake.
Right, let's not catch on fire still. See, I can't even handle this stuff.
So right into the center of the skillet.
In the well.
That's
I've
right.
learned that.
There you go. And once that gets warm, it's going to start cooking for you and make it just like a nice corn pancake.
Do you flip it?
We will flip it, but we got to let it cook on the one side first, or else that's going to be a big mess.
Just like a pancake. It really is just like a pancake. And I can actually make Aunt Jemima pancakes. You know,
well,
that
you
box
can make
of
these
stuff.
corn cakes. One thing that's really important for this dish, to give it the richness we want, the way Lincoln would have liked it, is to make a cream liaison. And what you have to do with that is add egg yolk, a couple of those to a little bit of the cream. So we'll actually do it the other way around.
This is half and half or pure?
This is heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream.
No doubt. Good stuff. And then we'll just kind of whip those together.
No calories.
No. Eggs and milk,
needed them.
Eggs and cream together, right? Yeah. And the important part about this is you want to add a little bit of the liquid from the skillet into here. And that's just to temper it, so you don't really kind of, curdle your cream, and it brings up the temperature slowly.
I see.
So we'll kind of simmer those together, see?
Yeah, gotcha.
And then we're going to put this right into the skillet. And what's going to happen is that egg's going to start to cook into the cream, and it's going to thicken it really nicely.
Fricassee.
Fricassee, yep.
Ooh, it's a nice little
super nice
stew almost kind of thing here. And their
it's
little
so
cake
rich.
is going to town here.
Yep, so we'll coat this up, let it simmer a little bit longer, kind of thicken.
That looks good.
Turn down our heat some. And then I like to use lots of good fresh herbs in there. Make sure we season it good with salt and pepper. And then right at the end when we plate it, we're going to use a little fresh lemon juice. We'll get to that in just a moment. So your corn cake is almost ready for flipping.
Flip! Where's my flipper?
We're going to use this little spoon.
No, I can't do that. Look, watch him, watch him. All right, now what, Jeremy? We're at the grand finale of the fricassee.
That's right. You want to go ahead and finish with just a touch of lemon juice. And squeeze it right in there. I like that last minute.
You can munch on carrots while you're waiting, too.
So we'll give it a little stir.
I'm trying hard, I mean,
well, how can you resist this, right? Nice succulent chicken.
I'll tell you what.
Right into the bowl.
I started hanging around with you.
Then plate the other one. Nice and simple.
Yeah, a little slithery thing.
You want lots of this good stuff.
Oh, that
here.
juice.
Yeah. And nice vegetables. The onions are cooked down nicely.
They look perfect, actually.
Yeah. And then your corn cake, just kind of use that as a garnish. You could possibly just maybe cut it in half and do this kind of thing with it. And then,
Lincoln would have been proud.
I think Lincoln would have liked that one.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice and simple,
Hope he
really
had
juicy.
The movie is so interesting. It's up for an Academy Award. And so is Daniel Day-Lewis, who's a phenomenal actor. And they didn't show much food in the show.
No. So what do you think about that? Some of you
I'm loving it.
Delicious, right?
Well, you know it. I can at least do the corn cake.
Here, how about a little taste of this sauce? What do you think?
Oh my, that is so good.
Yeah, this is classic stuff. So here's a little chicken fricassee, Lincoln's favorite for President's Day.
I love it. Thank you for joining us today at Food News and Chews, and we'll see you next week.
Food News and Chews is brought to you by these proud sponsors. Alltech, helping farmers feed the world. Azure Restaurant and Patio, worldly influenced, locally inspired. Sullivan University, offering higher education for people with higher goals. Azure Catering, catering the most important events, yours. Critchfield Meats, fresh, high-quality, all-natural meats, guaranteed. And Seaworth Superstore, fulfilling all your kitchen supply needs.